This is Horizon Zero Dawn. We're on PlayStation 5, taking a look at what I thought was one of the best games of the last generation. What an absolute masterpiece of a title. And it's great to revisit the title now that it's basically, I guess you could say, become free for a limited time. And I thought, hey, you know what? This is a great point for me to revisit this game and showcase it on the PlayStation 5. So with that, you're probably wondering about the technical elements of the game. We go over to visuals, and we use favorite resolution. So that renders the game in a native 4K checkerboard resolution, which is, a checkerboarded resolution of 4K. And it's at 30 FPS with HDR support. Now, that also does have the option of favoring performance, but there's no point in doing this one because both are 30 FPS. That's right. Even if you go to favorite performance, they're going to run at 30 FPS. It doesn't increase it to 60 like you would expect this kind of option to. So it's best just to stay with favoring resolution because there's not going to be any dips or anything with the extra overhead on PlayStation 5. But yeah, this is one seriously beautiful and incredibly great looking game, just like the character model, the world, the amount of detail in the environment. It's quite simply stunning, and when it came out, I was quite blown away by the game. I worked through it all very quickly. I think I even did like a walkthrough thing for it at the time. Anyways, that doesn't matter. The game itself, quite beautiful. The mystery, the style of it, just what you're doing in the game is really quite fascinating. You're basically discovering this new Earth where things haven't gone well. Or, well, you kind of discover that over time. Because there's all this lost technology, and it's very much a new Earth set far in the future. And there's new civilizations that have come up, and a sort of weird connection between these metallic animals and, well, basically people that are still living. And you get this weird meld of, past technology, or, well, I guess you would call it modern technology, and this futuristic sort of tribal style that people have embraced due to the way that things have kind of gone in the world. It's somber and beautiful and filled with such an interesting mystery. I don't want to spoil any of the story in case people do come in and play it for the first time. But yeah, it really is just such a remarkable time. And I remember going to E3 year after year and seeing them bring like the big kind of machines to walk the hall and stuff. It was so cool and so well done. And I really loved what they were able to achieve with this game. The full version of it still just looks absolutely amazing. And it cycles too. You get like this expansive sort of day-night setup here as the world kind of cycles through. And it's just like a beautiful, beautiful landscape. And I think there's something really interesting about the sci-fi angle that they took with the actual story itself. Figuring out, hey, what happened? Where did everybody go? Why is the world like this? Because you see those lost structures. You see that lost world. And you're just kind of, blown away by the fact that, hey, there's something going on here, or something happened. And then you're going about, figuring out what exactly did happen. And I think that's really, really neat. And I loved how the story unfolded. It had a great sci-fi angle to it. It had a very almost realistic sort of style to it in terms of a plausible thing of where things could head and what could happen. And I think that's really, really interesting. And they handled it just so beautifully well. And this is like a fire. You can, quick point and save. And it's a big world. Like, it's really, really large. And, there's a lot of creatures and things you can do in different places you can visit. And there's also DLC that kind of expands it further. You get modifiers for your stuff. You improve your skill points. I've completed the main story, but I never did the DLC and stuff. I wasn't really working with PlayStation back then, so I actually grabbed this game myself in order to show it off. And I was very happy with it. I was like, wow, this is kind of an amazing experience. Oh, my horse. I have to go over here and call my horse. My horse icon vanished. That's not good. Usually you have your horse that you can summon and then you can ride it and stuff, but I appear to have lost my icon for the horse. I probably have to go and pick one up or something. But you have a robotic horse usually, and my icon just kind of vanished for that one. Oh, that's interesting. Modifiers, treasure thingies. So I wanted to go soaring across the landscape with my horsey charger sight. I don't really want to go that way. I kind of want to corrupted zone. Let's see what we got over here. That thingy. Okay, well, we'll go see if we can pick up one of those things. Anyways, it's a really interesting sort of experience. It's very well done. You get a neat sense of weapons and combat, and a lot of it is intense rolling. You get some really action-packed moments and like huge boss things that you have to deal with. Oh, jeez. And yeah, sometimes you get to deal with very big monsters. I really am ill-prepared to kind of go up against this thingy. That's not what I was hoping for. And stealth is a big thing too, just in regards to kind of moving around the environment and trying to basically, you know, override things and get them to work for you. But I think I got a staff thing that makes it a lot easier. Oh, come on. This giant bird creature. I want to just ride this thingy. Oh, jeez. Okay, this is not going well, guys. I was not expecting a giant bird thingy to kind of be swooping in here and causing problem for me, especially since problems for me, because I don't have any herbs or anything, herbs and spices and stuff. Oh, crap. And, you know, the stealth mechanic is you kind of using the deep environment in order to sort of hide and make your way through it kind of stealthily. Oh, shit, he just kicked me in the back legs. So that was not what I was expecting, but we'll just use the quick save. And it loads way faster. Oh my god. I remember this game having like seriously slow loading on the base PlayStation 4 back in the day. Infinitely faster. Seriously. It is like the biggest difference to me, the fact that you can now, you know, kind of load so quickly. And you got like the cybernetic kind of chip thingy. And it's cool, her backstory and stuff, because I think that, to me, is really quite interesting. Just the, you know, sort of the situation she finds herself in and trying to figure out her place in the world, and that, I think, is really quite cool. It's just, yeah, it's such a beautiful title. It's so surprising. And like I said, there's a level of, like, stealth to it. Using the brush to your advantage. Well, I mean, this isn't really the brush, but you know what I mean? There's, like, places where you can sort of work through the brush and you can blend yourself into the environment and use stealth, and, you know, you're dealing with these creatures. And then there's other tribal type things too, right? Like, this is a world where other people still exist, and obviously other people problems are still here. And it's just this weird and almost sad infusion of the loss of regular nature, almost, to a degree, and just the turn into this robotic style because of the way the world, you know, kind of ended up. It really is kind of so morbidly depressing, but also really, really exciting and cool at the same time. Just in terms of, like, what goes on and what you see and witness along the way. Maybe we will follow that track. There's different biomes and, you know, really lost structures that you kind of come across as you explore. And I'm mostly just kind of showing it off and giving you an idea of how the visuals and stuff are looking. It really is quite a majestic and lovely experience. Am I going the wrong way? Okay, we need to go... let's maybe go this way, because I haven't explored there myself. That might be fun. But yeah, it really is just a charming title where you get to see some really, really unique things throughout the world and experience just this lost planet. Yeah, funny because, you know, Lost Planet's an actual series. But there's so many wonders to behold, and hidden surprises, and secrets, and big creatures to fight, and other people to deal with, and lost human relics that you get to discover and move through. And to me, that was just really, really quite cool, and seeing what else was out there in this world. And there's different biomes too. Like, you go to really different locations the whole way through. You're never sure exactly, you know, what you're going to witness or what you'll come across as you see these majestic, you know, kinds of monsters doing their thing, and then you trying to, you know, survive and make your way through the world. It really is quite crazy. So that's my marker there. I'm just trying to think of if I could, yeah, let's travel. Oh, do we want to travel all the way over there? I'm just kind of thinking if I want to waste one of my travel packs. Merchant, the hunting grounds. I'm just kind of thinking if I want to go back to, like, a fort or something. Mother's Heart. It's kind of a gorgeous little spot. Charger site. The monster sighting. That's funny. There's some weird things you can see, but I'm trying to think if I want to go to, like, a main city or not to show it off, because there's some really really gorgeous spots that you can head to. Go to the Palace of the Sun. Oh, that's kind of a primary city. I don't know if it's kind of would make me do like kind of a main story if I traveled there, because we're kind of not too far away from it. You know, we'll just travel there fast and we'll show it off because it's a really cool spot, and you can see the difference in loading as you go to like a new location as opposed to just like, you know, respawning, I guess you could say, because that does factor in as well. But there are different environments and biomes and locations hidden deep below that you might come across, and I like that sense of adventure and discovery, and the atmosphere of this game. It's almost bordering at times on like elements of horror with its sci-fi sort of roots, right? It's really, really quite interesting. Hello there. But yeah, this is one of the people-based locations. Just lovely. It's so picturesque. You can take some absolutely gorgeous photos and stuff in this game, and it's almost a shame that we're playing mostly at night here, but this area is really, really cool. And I'm assuming because I beat it, it took me back a little bit gameplay-wise, just in terms of where I am in the narrative, because you know usually you beat the game and then it goes back to a certain point, because I'm assuming that's what happened at this particular point. But yeah, you get to see this, like, you know, there's all these merchants, but you can see that they've kind of rebuilt some things. They've built new structures, and it's this mix of a tribal type area and also basically a structuring of, you know, the throwing in old things with new things, and I think that's really cool. It's really, really quite well done. My satchel's full. This is ridiculous. But you get to see, you know, surprises, and there's like, oh, I can't jump up here, can I? Oh, can I? Yeah. No, there's a wall there. Because I wanted to show off the vast distance on this one. You get some really beautiful sights to behold, but I don't want to engage in any of the story type stuff in this one because I don't want to ruin anything. But I kind of just wanted to show off a bit of the city. It's so neat how they like harvest the creatures and stuff like we would for regular animals, and yeah, you never know what you're gonna find as you go about exploring. The crafting mechanics, they're light, but you know, you get some options and stuff with them, which are quite cool. Yeah, this spot is kind of nice, but I don't want to engage in the story with this one. It's just really quite majestic. Okay, we'll fast travel to one other place, which I think is, you know, very, very different. Okay, don't want to quite go there. Mother's Watch. Yep. Okay, I'm just kind of wasting my fast travel things. It doesn't matter, because it is fun to actually just, you know, sort of ride your way through everything. And you know, this one's going to go and take a bit of a thing with this one. Just in regards to travel, like it takes a little bit longer because it's a bigger distance, but it's still so much faster on PlayStation 5. It's really awesome. It would make replaying this a lot easier, I think. But yeah, this is an incredibly different area. I was kind of hoping the day and stuff would change too. Yeah, you definitely get to see some monstrous things out there in the distance. And if you know the story, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just kind of like a really tragic situation, especially with how there were certain elements to try to preserve, you know, history in that, and then some people were just not the best about it. And yeah, it's kind of neat hearing the sacrifices and stuff and the hidden things here. But yeah, you can kind of go, this is a bit of like the starting area, and also not just the starting area, you kind of, you venture back and forth through certain areas in order to, like, you know, do different parts of the overall narrative, and there's big creatures and things you gotta fight. It's got some challenges to it, I gotta say, and, you know, some elements of, like, I guess you could say a bit of parkouring too in this one. But, like, the character model and everything is just fantastic. I really liked this individual as a character. I thought her struggles and such were really neat, and, you know, I'm very much looking forward to the follow-up where we get to see, you know, the next kind of chapter and what she's doing. I imagine it'll probably be at least a trilogy, you know, looking way down the road. They're probably not going to let this one kind of sit there, because this is an IP that they've, you know, beautifully made, and really, I think it has just a ton of promise to it, especially just kind of seeing, like, look at the dynamics of the hair and stuff. That's pretty wild for this, you know, this era and stuff. It's kind of creepy, or creepy, but it's kind of amazing. Tame creature. And then there's like the hunting thing, because you got the module that kind of gives you a bit of an advantage, right? Because you've got that tech element to it. But yeah, you can fight in different ways. You've got your bow, and you've got you know, your arrow and stuff. And then we can take all these things from the machines, just like you would like a regular animal that you hunt. But there's so many unique locations you can go to, and things to see, and things to do. And you'll just kind of be surprised by what you come across and what happens in the story. Because finally, some of the cover, you can see some of that just blend in there. I loved what they did here, and I mostly just can't wait to see what they do next, because I think there's so much potential with this. And I can't wait to see this character return, and well, really more of the mysteries kind of reveal themselves, and if there's more of the lost world to kind of discover, because I don't think we're quite done. Like, just look at the density in the flora and stuff. It's absolutely, like, you feel like you're really in a forest, and it's just crazy. Beautiful game, definitely worth playing.